Good afternoon and welcome to the Grand Rapids Area Library. Grandma Nancy here with a fun painting project that we're going to do today. Hopefully you've been out enjoying your summer, going on some hikes, doing some swimming, doing some reading, and of course doing lots of art. Today we are going to be painting one of my favorite wildflowers, and these are called lupines. You may have seen lupines before if you've been to the Duluth area, up the North Shore. This is the time of year you can check the ditches and you'll see a lot of them. There are some around Grand Rapids too. They grow wild and usually in the ditches. So they're very tall. They're very tall. And really pretty. They're fun to do. So these are what they look like. And they come in all colors. The most popular color is purples and blues and pinks. So this one has the most popular colors. But they also come in yellows, oranges, reds, okay? So that's gonna be fun. And here's just a quick little example I did. We want to kind of blend them all together so they overlap one another and you can't really tell exactly where one starts and one stops because that's how they grow. They grow in clusters. So that's what we're going to do today. Hopefully you have your kit. If you have not picked up your kit yet, I would have grown up, come down to the Grand Rapids Area Library and pick it up. And we'll see what's in it today. Ooh, very nice paper, very nice paper. When I did my sample, I was out of really nice paper at my house, which doesn't happen often. So yours will be brighter than the sample I did. This is very good paper. And then, of course, there's an extra sheet. You could do other flowers if you wanted. You could look at some pictures of the showy lady slipper. That's the Minnesota state flower. And those are always fun to do too. So you just use your imagination. Daisies are good. And then we have a brand new watercolor pack. And it's one of those packs that has lots of colors. It has 12 colors. Mostly we get packs that have 8, so this is going to be really fun to open up and use some really pretty colors. And then, oh my goodness, this is a surprise. This is a surprise. We have Q-tips. And we're going to use our Q-tips today like a paintbrush. So it's really, really going to be fun. We're going to just do little dots. These will be our paint brushes. So I have 4 paint brushes, and each of the paint brushes have 2 ends. So altogether, I really would have 8 different paint brushes. Plus, we're going to mix colors today, so it's not going to really matter. And I'll put those to the side. I'm going to get set up so we'll be all ready to do our project. You will need to, well, you get set up, you'll need to get a little cup of water. And if you want to cover your working area with newspaper, grab a piece of newspaper or something so you don't get paint on the table. The paint comes off, but just in case you're on a good, nice dining table. All right, we'll see you in a minute. Welcome back, and hopefully you have everything set up and ready to go. We'll take a look at these photos first before we start. What's interesting about lupines is they grow straight up and very, very tall. A lot of our wildflowers are a little closer to the ground, but these, they go right for the sun, and it's really glorious. So if you look at this one, you can see it actually is multiple colors. It's kind of a pink and kind of an orange, and then the colors blend together. I think that's very cool. This one, it's got the little petal-y things are very dark, bright yellow, and then they get pale yellow. And this one, it's all the dark yellows, and then there aren't any pale ones. This one is a new one coming up. I think it might be a yellow one too. This is another one that's in front of that one, so you can see what I mean. They sort of blend together or cluster together, which I think is super cool. And then we have the purples, and this is kind of a magenta color, which is fun too. So that's one of the pictures. And here you can see them reaching tall, way up, way up. This is like on a hill, this picture is. So these are on the top of the hill, and then these are down. But they also have ones that grow high and ones that are just a little shorter. They're not, maybe not fully developed, or maybe they're just going to be a little shorter. Because, of course, the ones that are tall are getting the best sun first. Here's a yellow and an orange. And this is, you know, this is a pink, and there's the purple. I enjoy seeing all the different colors. It is a straight up plant. It's straight up like that. It's one long green stem, and then we have the little petals. These are interesting because they're actually, there's a lot. I think I already told you there's a lot on the North Shore, and they're a plant that doesn't grow naturally. They're called an invasive plant. That means they didn't just grow naturally. Somehow they were transplanted and then they've taken off. They are very beautiful. There's many plants that are like that, where they're not native to the area. They didn't grow there originally, but now they do, and they are very pretty. And they're called lupines, which is a fun word to say. Okay, so I'm gonna get my paper right here, ready to go, and I have to count because I don't even remember, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these two kind of blended together, didn't they? So I'm gonna start, grab my paintbrush, and again, this is brand new. I love brand new paint. You'll want to make sure you break that seal. You want to make sure you break that seal and get some nice paint on there. I'm going to just make a straight line. Now my hand shakes a little bit just because of my age, but that's okay, because look at, it's not going to be like a straight rulered line. When I say straight line, I mean about as straight as you can get out in nature like that. So that's going to be my first start of one. I'm just going to go on to another one because I don't want to make my petals until this dries. So now I'm going to make an even taller one. Whoa, 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 going tall, going tall. And I might end that one right here. Then I'll make a little shorter one. And the thing is, you can always add, like, you know, I could start my petals anytime soon, but I do want to show you one other thing. You can mix colors here if you want. Get a bunch of that green, and let's say I want a lighter green. I could add white, or I could even add yellow, and then I'm going to get kind of a yellow green. Let's see what that looks like. And if you want to test it on paper, well, it looks a little bit more yellowish, doesn't it? And then maybe one is going to come down like this. Okay, so all I have really are 5 lines. And now I'm ready to move on to our super fun little Q-tip paintbrushes. Okay, so I have to decide what color I want to start with. Well, I think this color right here is gorgeous. This color is a magenta. We have a light blue. We have a purple. I think that's our darker blue. Black. We have all kinds of good colors. And white. So I'm just going to dip this just like I'm doing just like I'm using a paintbrush. And I'm just gonna kind of gently move it around so I get paint on it. And then I'm going to start. Sometimes you see the green at the very top. See that little bit of green? So I'm gonna just leave that little green tip for this one. And then I'm gonna simply go down, and all I'm doing is putting dots. And you know the beauty of this? They can go on top of each other, they can go by themselves, whatever. The one thing we want to do is, let me see which one shows it the best. It gets a little narrow as it goes up. So once I get down here, I might get a little bit wider with that, right? And I'm just gonna go around. So I have these little balls to make my lupine. And then it gets narrow down here too. Then I'll look at it and I'll say, where do I need more? You get to decide because you're the artist. So I think it needs more here, and you decide where you think yours needs more. Maybe it doesn't need more. Oh, I like it. Do you like it? Okay, now, whoops. I'm gonna get a few more there to join you. I don't want you out there by yourself. So now, I really, really, really like this bright magenta, but remember how I said that they're kind of multi-colored? So I'm gonna dip this again. I'm gonna leave that magenta on there, and I'm hoping this is purple. Yeah, it is. And then I'm gonna but I'm gonna go really lightly. Oh, it's not purple, it's blue. Beautiful. It's blue and it looks beautiful. I'm just kind of giving it a little bit of extra color, but I don't want to overdo. I just want to, oh, I like it. Do you like it? Now, if you want to go, I want to find my purple. Which one do you think's my purple? This one? Let's see. I don't know. I think so. Yeah, that's purple. I'm not, now when I'm adding this kind of extra color, I'm doing it pretty lightly. I'm not doing, I don't want the full round circle. I just want to give my flower some depth so it kind of looks three-dimensional. I like it. So I have just one done. I'm going to save this because who knows, I might be using that same color again. Now what color should I do? I think I'm going to do the yellow. I have to clean some of my green out of there. I'm going to do the yellow and a little bit of orange. It's a color I don't see very often, but you do see the yellow and the orange, so it's special. So, the yellow is hard to show, isn't it? I'll have to get some orange in there. But I'll just do my yellows, and then I'll get the orange in there. We'll need some more color there, won't we? Yeah, we need more color. So we'll get some orange, and then our yellow will kind of be just yeah, that looks good. The orange will be the dominant color because it is brighter. And see, it's fine that you can see the stem, because you actually do see the stem, but I put my dots right on top of it. There, that looks better, right? Okay, maybe a little more yellow. Down here we need some more yellow. And you know what else I think I need? I think I need the stem to go down further, so I can add the stem whenever I want. Yeah, I like that. I do like it. Okay, now what color? Let's go with blue. Let's go with the light blue. Light blue first. Now it's going to be light, but I'll go in with dark blue so things will stand out more too. I will do that. Get this nice blue in here. It's really fun, isn't it? I love, you know, just dotting around. Doesn't matter where I go, where I overlap. It turns out stunning. Now, this is the one I said was the dark blue, right? Yep, that looks like the dark blue. I'll get a little bit of dark blue in here. Just maybe on the edges of some of these. And again, I'm not stamping full circle. I just want to get the edge of a few of these, so I'll do a little bit more. And then you just, you know, you kind of look back on it and see what you think. I like it, but I want a little bit more. I want it to come out a little bit more here. I want it to come out a little bit more here. And then I do need the little bit more blue. So I'm really just dabbing. That's kind of fun. You know, I'm not painting with the Q-tip like it's a paintbrush. It's a dab-a-dab-a-doo. And there you go, dab-a-dab-a-dab-a-doo. Nice. Okay, pretty. Now that's my purple. Oh, I'm getting down to my last paintbrush. So now I'm going to do purple. Honestly, purple is the one I see most of. I see mostly purples. And this one, I might just leave this one color. I might not do any blending or anything. It's up to you. You're the artist. You can do what you want. Make it what feels good to you. Just experiment and have fun with your fancy new paintbrush. You can actually use Q-tips in all kinds of ways when you do art. You can do lots of pictures with it. Okay? And then I'm just gonna do one more. You can keep on, right on going if you want. And what color do I want to do? I think I want to repeat the blue. I like to repeat colors, but not each color. So blue seems the one I want to repeat this time. See how it's getting right next to that yellow one? And that yellow one is pretty much dry, so I can go right on top of some of that yellow and orange with my blue. And there we go. A little bit of blue. Whoa, not that much blue, dark blue. See, I got too much and then I just kept going and patting it around and got it where I wanted it. I'll get some blue over there too. Okay, I'm going to stop now. You may do, I mean, you can have flowers going off the paper. I mean, my goodness, look at this photograph. This is a whole big field of lupines. You can make more in the back, but I'm gonna just kind of stick with this for now. Now, how did I do the back? I didn't use my Q-tip. I'm gonna actually use my brush. And you know how sometimes we paint the entire back because we want no white showing? We're not gonna really do that today. We're gonna leave some white showing. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna make my paper, I'm gonna do it in sections. I'm gonna first paint water on just in one little section because I don't want it to dry. Then I'm gonna get a lot of blue paint and I'm going to just come in next to the flower, okay? And I'm gonna just keep working around here and I'll stop when I get down by the ground and do the same kind of thing there. So you want to have wet paper and then really loaded down, watered down paint. And we're just doing like kind of an edge, very subtle this time. Now this is gonna be a tricky part, but I want to have some blue in there. So I'll come, do you see how it flows? It's fun to do this too, I like it, because you don't know where it's gonna go. And it can go anywhere and be all great. And then I'm gonna do up here, do here, do here. It's hard to tell where you have the water, but I'm just gonna trust where I have it and go. And then I put it down and I just let it flow. I let it flow. So it'll be darker in some places, really, but that's fine. It's not a solid paint and show no white this time. It's do the very, very subtle painting like that. Now, some of you might be brave and think, ooh, you know what? I'd like a little bit of a darker blue in there. So you might put a little bit of darker. Wow, I have to put more. That wasn't enough to make a difference. So I want to make sure that's wet too. Okay, do you see that? It's a little bit darker, and then it's going to give you a nice feel of a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sky. I'll put some down here too. Oh, look at that flow. That is nice. I'm going to go back to the light blue, see if I can get those to flow together. See? So this is lighter and then the sky is just a little bit darker, but if you look at a summer sky, that's often the case. Okay, so in here, it's gonna be tricky, but we can do it. We can do it. Just follow that river of water. There you go. There you go. Okay, now I'm gonna do the ground the same way, and you can do it exactly like that too, but I'm gonna move my brush a little different. Oops, I have green in there, but that's okay. That way I can tell where I put the water, right? So I'm gonna put water down, and then I'm gonna kind of go circular in these little circles. So it's gonna get a little bit of a different look. Like it's grassy and mossy and full of weeds. You know, weeds are often very, very beautiful, like dandelions. Those are considered weeds, but they are gorgeous. They are absolutely gorgeous. So I'm just gonna do, now you don't want the circular to be like, ooh, perfect circles. You just want it to be kind of giving it a flowy feel. And here we go. we go again. So I want my sky to, I don't want an exact, this is where the sky is. I want it to kind of blend with my ground. And then I'll show you another little technique. You can use all these techniques for when you are doing art. You know, you don't have to move your paintbrush down around your paper in the traditional way, right? See, does that make it look kind of groundish? Okay, so now I want to have some green going up into the sky. I'm going to go with this as dark green. Yep, that's darker green. And this time I'm not going to get it quite as wet. And I'm going to make some just little quick strokes. So I kind of have the idea that there's grass or weeds or a combination growing in there. And if I don't like how it goes, I'm just gonna put water on it and blend it down. Okay. We gotta get some green up by this guy. He looks like he's floating in the sky, doesn't he? We'll just put a few little leaves on the bottom. They don't have many leaves, but they have some right there on the bottom. Okay, there you go. We are done with our lupine project. I hope you had a good time. You can do another one. You can do other wildflowers, whatever you want, but have a good time. Enjoy it.